Hey, this is Joe Hubbard from JoeHubbardBassVideos.com. What we're going to take a look at today is something that I came up with back early in the 1980s to teach my students how to learn the notes on their fretboard. This is what I call the random note finder. This exercise has helped hundreds of players across the world to actually solidify and understand what notes lie under their fingers. It's a particularly difficult issue with the electric bass because we have a duplications of pitch problem with the fretboard. In comparison to a piano, for instance, that each pitch has only one location on the keyboard, and if you took a saxophone it would be the same thing. On a fretboard you have duplications of pitches. I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Playing a 5-string bass here, if I choose the note B, which I'm going to play here, this is the B just below middle C. On this bass I have 5 of those B's. So if I go, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and then there's 5 right at the top of the 24th fret of my B string. So with that in mind, it becomes a real challenge for students to understand exactly what's going on with all the different locations of the notes on their fretboard. Consequently, most guitar players and bass players usually do two things that cause you problems in your overall development as a musician. One is you don't learn the notes that are under your fingers, and two, to compensate for that, you tend to learn by pattern alone. Okay, again, playing by pattern is about half right. We can't ignore the geometrical patterns that are created on the fretboard. But if that's the only thing that's guiding us, we're going to have incredible problems developing our musicianship and really understanding anything about music in general. So we want to change that, and this is actually not that hard to do. You just have to focus in and actually learn the different things that are required. One is I cannot be a good bass player unless I know the notes under my fingers. I can't truly translate the ideas that I hear in my head and let them express themselves through this instrument with fluency and ease without knowing the notes. So with that said, let's jump straight into this exercise. Now basically what's going on with this exercise is that I want to start at my lowest note. So this can be applied to the 4-string, it can be applied to the 5-string, and it can be applied to the 6-string. My lowest note on this bass is a B, so I start with the low B, and then what I want to do is I want to play all the B's that ascend on each individual string. So I play my low B, then I play the B at the 12th fret, and then my next B is going to be that B at the 24th. Okay, then I go to the B string, the B on the E string, and then I hit the B an octave above there, then I hit the B on my A string, octave above that, then I hit the B on the D string, an octave above that, then I hit the B on my G string and an octave above that, and from there I want to then play those progressively back down the fretboard, just smoothly, cleanly, and evenly, and get back to my low B. Okay, from there I just move up chromatically. Now there has been some students of mine who said, well, isn't it better that we go through the cycle of fourths, or you know, you could play it any way. You could go chromatically, I could play it in major seconds, I could play it in minor thirds, major thirds, you know, augmented fourths, fifths. It doesn't matter. It's just the idea is that you're playing it, and you're also in the process you're memorizing all the locations of each individual note across your fretboard and noting all the different duplications that occur. Now, here's a little trick that as I go up, you could see that if I have the open string, I've got my B, I've got the B on the 12th fret, and then I've got the B on the 24th fret of my B string. So when I have an open string, I'll always, if I have 24 frets, I will always have 3 notes. If I have 24 frets, on all the other notes, all the other strings, I'll have 2 of those notes. So I'll show you that again. If I have the B, open B, I've got that there. Here I've got 3. Then I go to my E string, okay? I've got 2 there, 2 on my A, 2 on my D string, and then 2 on my G string. And it'll be that same way for every single note. The problem is that with bass guitars, there's no standard design. In other words, the number of frets vary from bass to bass, and you know, you could have a 19 fret bass, you could have a 20 fret bass, 21 fret bass, 24. See, some people have 26 fret basses. So, you know, the thing is that you've got to adapt this to the instrument that you have, and be cognizant of, you know, what instrument you're playing. I do know some guys who play like 5 or 6 different instruments, and they never sort of build that into the actual understanding of what they're playing. I myself have always been a one bass guy. I usually have one instrument that's my workhorse. I use it extensively, and I get to know it inside and out. I'll end up knowing this bass like the back of my hand. So, you know, just bear that in mind. Food for thought to develop the understanding of this. So, once I've played all the first note, which is the lowest note, once I played, I'm going to move chromatically up the rest of the scale, and then we start with C. So I go to C and I play my C. I've got 2 C's on this string. I go here, I just go C, C, my C on my A string, my C on my D string, my C on my G string, and then again I just want to play those back down smoothly and evenly down to the beginning of where I started with that C, my lowest point of that particular note. I'll then move up. Now, here's what happens with accidentals, and what I mean by an accidental is a note that either has a sharp or a flat attached to it. If I move up from C, I could call that C sharp, and the way that I do it is simply like this. While you're ascending, say sharp. While you're descending, say flat. That way you get both angles of the note. So here I'm going C sharp. I go to my C sharp here, C sharp, 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 C sharp. Now I'm going D flat on the way back down. So D flat, 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 and then I go D flat down to the bottom. And I continue up. My next note's going to be D, and I'll just play all the D's. Now, it's real important that as you're playing these, that you say the note D, D. I missed that open D talking. D, 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 E flat, 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 E flat. Well, I could have called that D sharp, 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 E, 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 and then I go to F, and you just continue on that way and go through every single note until I get up to B flat. That would be my last note. Play all my B flats. I would have then played every note on my fretboard, and I would have understood every single note duplication. So this is the idea. You do not want to learn these to where you always have to like play an octave to know what note you're playing. This is ridiculous. This is just putting a wedge between you understanding your instrument and understanding what's under your fingers. To have to think through it too hard when it comes to actually applying this to musical principles. Now remember, there's no context yet to this. This is called the random note finder. As we move on to create things like tonalities, we'll understand how to put a context to the note. That comes next. But right now, we're just talking about understanding all the notes on the fretboard. This is a paramount skill that has to be learned in order for you to be an effective musician and a competent musician. Another thing to look at is the understanding of how these duplications work and where they kind of lie. Remember I said there was my B, there's a B, there's a B, there's a B, and there's a B. You can see how this moves across the fretboard. See how I'm going here? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That moves 6 frets. Or if I counted this finger as 0, I go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll start to understand that wherever I am, if I have an E, then I know this relationship here across this diagonal shape that's pointing me to all the various notes and all those various note duplications. Because if I played this E, that E is going to be the same pitch, and it's also going to be the same written pitch. This is why most bass players are not good sight readers, because they don't know the notes. They don't know the understanding of the duplications and where they occur. So it becomes like a chess match on trying to figure out where to play what, and then inevitably most guys end up getting snookered along the way because they don't know the terrain. They don't understand the map that's going to actually get them there. So take this with you. Attached to this video, you'll find a PDF worksheet that will have grids for all the locations of all the notes. And I want you to memorize it. I want you to then practice this exercise. After a while, this will only take you 2 or 3 minutes a day. Do this every day for the next 9 weeks, and I guarantee that your knowledge of understanding the notes will skyrocket and go through the roof, and it'll be the beginning of you making great leaps and bounds for your accelerated learning. Now stay with me.